off the start, pole position for Bradley Ray, and he storms off into an early lead on the 125 GPEE machine with the two Motul KTMs right behind him, and an unfortunate mishap straight off, thankfully with no apparent lasting injuries as the faller gets clipped. These bikes are lightweight and therefore not too horrible to get hit by, apparently. Number 66, Joe Irving, leads the way. Then a massive high side for Tom Bruce Amos puts him out of the race just a few days after his 17th birthday. The battle continues at the front between the red line KTM number 66, Bradley Hughes, number 28, who makes a late move on the inside of Agostini's and rattles the KTM into running wide. And once again, down the Bentley straight. There's always a question mark over who's going to come out on top. Bradley Ray manages it on this occasion, but the gap is closing between them and the dueling dubbing and weaving. And Joe Irving retakes the lead at the Montreal hairpin with a neat-as-you-like move. Jordan Weaving, though, has got past Ernst Dubbing and is closing the gap. A mistake by Joe Irving on the last lap allows Bradley Ray to snap back in front, but on the launch uphill to the line, it's the red line KTM that pulls out of Bradley's slipstream and grabs the result for home first. A 6-lap sprint then for the rerun of the Pirelli National Superstock 1000 Championship here at the Snetterton 300 track, and a bright start once again for Danny Buchan, though he clipped into the first turn by Australian Jason O'Halloran. And then Buchan runs wide into Montreal on the first lap and has a lot of work to do. At the front, though, O'Halloran leads it until number 11 on the Steve Brogan Racing Kawasaki cuts through. That's Adam Jenkinson. And then he comes under pressure from the Qingdao WK Kawasaki of championship leader Danny Buchan, who slips past and takes the lead. The sun's shining on the 6-lap sprint race here. And then the red flag went out after some substance had been dropped on the track, and despairing Hudson Kenner there, wonder what's going on after they've done 3 laps behind the safety car. Then the rerun, the short, sharp 6-lap rerun, and away goes Danny Buchan, gets the better of Jason O'Halloran early on. Philip Backlund pushes his way through into 3rd place. Hudson Kenner puts the pressure on Danny Buchan and gets to the front on the Trick Moto BMW. Buchan does his best to get through on the penultimate lap, but just can't quite make it on the last bend. And it's victory at last for the defending champion who won 3 times last year. Hudson Kenner takes victory and breaks his duck for the season at Snetterton. The Pirelli National Superstock 600 Championship at the Snetterton 300 circuit in Norfolk, and a brilliant start from the man who shattered the lap record in practice and put himself on pole position. Kyle Ryde from Nottinghamshire on the Pace Days, Track Days Yamaha leads the way. Right behind him, Andy Reid, the current championship leader, and in 3rd place, a brilliant start by number 22, Mason Law on the Trick Moto Kawasaki. Terrific pass by Andrew Reid. He snatches the advantage early in the race from early leader Kyle Ryde. And then a bunch of Kawasaki's fighting over the points here. A good move by number 8, Andrew Irving from Carrick Fergus, puts himself through into 4th place. James Lodge, former 125, double 125 champion on bike number 7, fighting hard on the Motor Breakers Kawasaki. Meanwhile, Andrew Reid moves over and glances across at his rival, lets Kyle Ryde through. Mason Law just behind them in 3rd place. And then Andrew Reid drafts back to the front and breaks the lap record before James Lodge disappears out of the race, crashing off at Palmer's. And then on the final lap, Kyle Ryde cleverly gets into the draft down the Bentley straight and outstrips his rival to take a brilliant win. Andrew Reid congratulates him. A delighted Kyle Ryde has put himself right back into championship contention with that race win. His best result so far was a 4th at Alton Park. Now with this victory at Snetterton, he's back on the championship trail. Great start off pole position by Tom Kahn Lancashire's best storms down towards the first turn. This the third race of the weekend for the TriStar R&G Triple Challenge, all mounted of course on 675 Triumph triples. And the championship leader Philip Atkinson bustles his way through to second place and indeed briefly hits the front before being outgunned down the Bentley straight by Tom Kahn. Off pole position, he once again moves to the front, but there's all sorts of threats. Sam Cox is there, Jesse James Jones is there, and it's Jones who squeezes through to the front as they go down to the Montreal hairpin, through into second place. Kahn still with the advantage as they slipstream one another vigorously down that Bentley straight. And then this happens to Tom Kahn, having led the race early on. He collides with Cox as they come out of the Montreal hairpin and goes down with no road to go to. Freddie Petz is charging through the field as Phil Atkinson clips a back wheel going into Williams, and that sends the South African tumbling painfully out of the race. Freddie Petz then has gone right into the mix, but suddenly Jesse James Jones, the 18-year-old, falls when leading the race and leads these guys to fight it out to the end. Freddie Petz does everything he can to get the best of Scott Pictures, but the 20-year-old on the Team SP Racing Triumph gets his second successive race win here at Snetterton.
You would have thought that from pole position, Sean Hegarty could put this one out of sight from the flag, but he had absolutely that intention, but to no avail. Through came Roger Lovelock and Aki Alto to assume the early lead. Tony Brown and Ashley Hawes, number 57, followed. Ben Bygrave was so strong on the number 74 outfit, sweeping through, looking as though he'd run wide, but no, he gathered it up and kept going. There was then very much a two-horse race at the front. Behind them, though, everything was broken loose. It was just a fantastic scrap. Lovelock looked as though his BMW might have the measure on superior speed and power from the Suzuki of Sean Hegarty, but Hegarty made his intentions abundantly clear on a number of occasions, putting his nose alongside and eventually making it stick. From that moment on, Lovelock and Alto had absolutely no fight back. Peach, from a miserable start again, got himself mixed up with the Young Brigade mid-pack and had to fight all the way to the flag for his third place. But third place he got, Andy Peach completing the podium. At the end of the race, the winning margin, 8.278 seconds for Sean Hegarty and James Lee. Win number 4 in 2 rounds. Sensational stuff. Lovelock still there, and Andy Peach, that was your podium, but the delight from those two guys, obvious.